Ron Paul here in the Amsterdam program. This botched raid by the Israelis on this ship and this blockade of the Gaza Strip. What's your view of all that?
I think it's horrible. In foreign policy, I'm a non-interventionist. I say mind our own business, let people take care of their problems, worry about our borders and not the borders in North and South Korea or the Middle East, and we don't rebuild the world. So therefore, I am anxious not to be overly judgmental and telling Israel exactly what to do. I think it's, in many ways, their business. But it's our business because we are not only very close allies of Israel, we finance Israel. So any weapon they use or ship they own or plane they own or any threat they make, we back them up. We backed them up on this embargo and preventing food and medicine going into Gaza. So we're morally responsible, and people see it as one and the same. So, but I think this is atrocious. But I think sanctions and embargoes and boycott, preventing goods from going in is actually an act of war. So this is why just recently a few of us voted against sanctions against the Iranians. I was opposed to the sanctions against the Iraqis that went on for more than 10 years, arguing, you put this on, this is an act of war, we're going to go to war. That's why I don't want sanctions against Iran. But I think it's absolutely wrong to prevent people that are starving and having problems that are almost like in concentration camps in saying, yes, we endorse this whole concept that we can't allow ships to go in there in a humanitarian way. So, I think it's just terrible, and I don't think we should be part of it, even though if we weren't involved, I would say nothing. So I think this would be a perfect opportunity to argue the case that, Israel, if you want to do this, you're on your own. We're not backing you up.
It's my understanding that they are allowing humanitarian aid in, and that they're not specifically saying we're not allowing in humanitarian aid or food or those kinds of things. What they're concerned about is weapons falling into the hands of Hamas. That's a legitimate concern, wouldn't you think?
Well, they're an elected government. I mean, Hamas. We have thousands of our soldiers dying to say that we want elections and we want democracy. So we finally get one in Palestine, and they elect Hamas, and then all of a sudden, oh, you elected the wrong people. So, no, you're not illegitimate. You stole the government. Well, our CIA, when we have elections, frequently rig elections. And, is Karzai a truly elected leader of Afghanistan? He's a puppet. So this whole notion that we should die for spreading democracy, and then when we get democracy, we undermine it. I mean, this is all started back in the 50s when Mossadegh was elected as a legitimate democratic leader of Iran, and we went, and our CIA, that was our beginning of the CIA overthrowing governments, and we got rid of him. And that had a lot to do with oil and British petroleum and other things back then. So, no, I don't think we should. They're probably not the best people in the world, but, didn't we talk to the Soviets? They weren't very good people. We've talked to the Chinese over the years, and they were thugs. And yet, in talking to them and dealing with these countries like China, actually, our relationships have improved. So this whole idea that we have absolute control over people, in Palestine, the Gaza, and the West Bank, I don't think that's right.
Yeah, but other than that, I meant. We're talking with Congressman Ron Paul here in the Office of the Morning Program. Got about a minute left here. Son won the primary there in Kentucky to run for the Senate, got in a jam. Something he said about the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Did he call you to get any advice on how to get out of
that? No, we really haven't talked about it, but I think his jam had nothing to do with what he said. I think his jam came about by what people said he said, and it was completely wrong. The demagogues who didn't like his election had to work very hard right after his election, I think, to try to destroy his victory. They did a pretty darn good job of beating up on him, but this whole idea that you enforce political correctness by using the race card, that sort of turns me off.
Yeah, I've been down that road. All right, Congressman Paul, thank you very much.
Okay.
Always a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you.